And that unified message is that we are one team and we're past the merge, and there are some exciting products, as we all know, some exciting things coming. But most importantly, what we have is we have to go out there and let everybody know about. And the training involved not only stories of how they got there so that we can understand, you know, where we're at as a team and a group, but what's coming and how to get out there and share everything. There were some recordings made for those who weren't there or couldn't be there that we've been posting around of the trainings. And if you take the time to sit and watch them, it was absolutely amazing. Tracy?
Well, yeah, first of all, you know, this is why we go to we do go to everything that we can, because not only is it tribe bonding, community bonding, partnership bonding, but your belief just keeps growing and growing. And I want to say that David and Lonnie and Richard set a really great foundation for us NuAriix people about love, trust, and partnership, and about transparency, and about you know, if you will go out and do it, magic will happen. And when Lonnie and David found NuAriix and partnered with them and merged with them, I mean, our new partnership and our new NuAriix company is all of those things and more. And the best thing, well, I actually missed Saturday due to a migraine, but I got on the videos that were produced while we were gone, and I got to hear Fred and Kenny and some of the other leaders who told us their struggles to get to greatness, to get to success. And for any one of us who feels that we have been slighted in any way because of the merge, or because we haven't gotten to our rank that we want yet, you know what? As Fred said, if you are having challenges, then know you're ready for greatness. Know that your greatness is coming. And I tell you, I am so in love with not only our David and Lonnie founders, and Rick now, and Allison, and all of the 7 founders of the new business. Like we were talking Friday night about our takeaways, and we truly don't realize how great of a company we are with, and what our future holds. Our future holds anything we dare to dream and anything we dare to go after. So well, I'm
you're spot on, and I don't mean to cut you off on this, but I want to make sure that everybody can kind of pop in here that was here, and we believe in everything that you said too. And I think next we had Janet Pritchard.
Let me add one correction, Tracy. You were right. You were spot on. As unbelievable as it, they found us. We weren't searching for them. So, wow. Yes.
Didn't know we were lost.
Yeah.
Well, Janet, because I think a lot of people that are going to be on this call we've got somebody from the U.S. and a lot of people kind of from B.C. and you were from the Heartland, so like to hear your touch on why, you know, number one, why you went, number two, what you got out of it.
Yeah, why did I go? Well, after the merge, I was really busy traveling, and I didn't get to the conference because I was in New Zealand, and I just wasn't sure, and so I needed to go down to make sure it was right for me. I wanted to meet corporate. I wanted to talk to Deanna and figure out why the products are as good as they are. I needed to go down and see the manufacturing plant. I needed to meet some NuAriix representatives. I haven't been to any of their gatherings, and so yeah, it was a game changer. I was so excited. I've sold 2 water bottles since I got home. Chatting with people, I'm totally 100% in, and I was sort of holding back because I wasn't sure. And what I've learned from all of this and from what I've listened to was you don't have to know everything. You just need to know that you believe in it and you just go with it. And if you don't know it, then you just figure it out. And the funner, the funner, that's, you know, getting a feel for the energy of RX, which is why Vic said we were there. And I said to Lonnie today, when I went there, it's like going to another country to learn to speak a language. But when they learned that you spoke English, they wanted to practice their English. And so we were being totally inundated by all of the RX people wanting to know about our products. And I was like, well, okay, well, I'll tell you a little bit, but you got to tell me about your products. You have so many more than what we have. So they're as curious about our products as we are about theirs. And so it was a fabulous, I don't think I sat with NuSarity people very often, because you just go in for lunch and there was just people, and as we hear from NuSarity, they welcomed us in, sit down, let's just chat. And where are you from? And yeah, it was phenomenal. So I've got a whole bunch more Facebook friends and more places to visit in the States, and all the males in the room. We're not used to that. It's usually females, right? And seeing all the males in the room and hearing their stories, and it was a game changer. And I'm so glad I went, because yeah, it was incredible.
We're glad you went too, and I think that really was good, and it was interesting speaking to Janet earlier, really about her perspective. So I wanted her to speak out about that, and I think and thank you for coming on and sharing that. I think our next person is David reached out to her today. It was Brenda Cabo Thompson, and if she's here, let's. I'm looking to see her. Unmute yourself.
She was just on the Mexico call. Did a wonderful job for us.
Well, that's
Hi,
good.
everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hi. Thank you for giving me a few minutes on the call. Hi, everybody. What an amazing weekend. It was incredible to be with 90 people in, between 3 small rooms, basically the whole time, to have all these opportunities to talk and blend and start relationships with our RX family. And it was so interesting because it was so fun, because so many of us in NuSarity were receiving comments from RX reps about our skin. And the comments were kind of all along the same vein, just like Janet was saying. And one woman said to me, she could tell in any room who the NuSarity people were because our skin was so incredible. And that was just so, so fun. There's nothing like Skinsarity out there. We have this incredible technology, and to start really joining and using synergistically the RX technology for wellness and them loving our technology, it just felt like we were really, really blending. We were really becoming a family. So I really love that. I am a research junkie for products, as most of you know from my story. So I was all in on touring the manufacturing plant, and it was very cool to see the state-of-the-art equipment and the technology. And what we spent some time learning about was the checkpoints that are in place to secure the potency and purity of our products. So when the raw materials arrive, there's like 2 levels of testing before they even start with manufacturing. And what was very cool to me is that the products are tested at the point that they're finished and ready for sale to ensure that they are as potent at the end of the expiry date as they are at the time of manufacturing. And in all my decades of research, personal research, I've never known a company be able to say that. So that is just incredible. Do I have time for one more point, Lonnie?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Something that really touched me on the weekend was when Vivian got up. She's the VP of marketing, and she told her story. You could have heard a pin drop. And, she talked about her, as David says, her sick work ethic, incredible work ethic, and how unappreciated she was in her previous company. She was even directing a product launch when she was giving birth in the hospital, and went back to work 2 weeks after she'd had her baby, and the company gave her 20 diapers or something. Like, that's how little they appreciated her. And so when she came to RX, she had lots of challenges there too. The team didn't like her right away because there were some issues going on with that position before she even got there. So she was starting in on the negative, and she said, she started in on her position sort of in a negative position from everyone else's point of view. And she talked about how she would go home and cry every night and pull herself together and come back to work the next day. And why? Because she was building her career. She was building her dreams. Her family was horrible to her. She lost friends and family through the whole process. And it's kind of like what Tracy touched on, what Fred said near the end was, it's life, and everything negative that happens is just a temporary setback. So if you're having problems, you're on the road to success. So her story was really inspirational, because I think in the field, we think that we're the only ones with problems. We're the only ones dealing with difficult people. We're the only ones getting maybe negative pressure from our families, but we're not. It's actually anyone who decides to really build their dream and go for it. So thank you for your time.
That's awesome, Brenda.
Wow, fantastic, Brenda.
Good. That was
Thank
good.
you very much.
Well, next on our list, we have the wonderful Karen Poe. Where's Karen?
I'm right here. Hey, everyone. Excited to be here. Hi. I have to laugh when you said they didn't expect, they thought they'd have about 30 people from all over to go down there, right? And clearly, they do not know the NuAriix tribe, because there was 30 NuAriix people, at least, right? I was blown away. I thought my belief meters were all like on point, right? 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And I went down there hoping to, see the manufacturing. Brenda, you just touched on that beautifully about all the testing points before it comes to us. And what I loved was the heart of people. That was one of the things that just kind of blew me away. It was the heart. And, everywhere from, I'm going to quote a few things here, but like Deanna Latson talking about, we're in the business of prevention and transformation of lives. Right. And we always say that what's NuAriix, creating beautiful lives. It's no different. We've just gotten bigger, right? In that sense. Right. So that was really cool. Fred, one of his quotes was, "Greatest day is to watch the transformation." And he had tears in his eyes, you guys. He had tears in his eyes when he talked about these beautiful little Asian women who looked totally glamorous, gorgeous dresses. He had a picture of them at an award ceremony. And he said, that weren't like that before. They didn't have the self-confidence. They didn't have the visual, like the feel good in their skin, if you want to say, or have the confidence. And this company, NuAriix, changed that for them, right? It changed them because of the drops. They taught them how to walk and talk and feel good about themselves. And do you not think that they're sharing that around the globe? Absolutely. And these women are power rankers now, and they never were before, right? So I was like, oh my gosh, we got something here that's just incredible. When you saw that on screen, and then Fred talking about it, and his heart was coming through that, like the tears in his eyes, because that's what we have, right? It's changing people's lives is what makes marketing great. So, for anyone who says, is this network marketing? Get over it. Yeah, it is. And these products are the best, and we are going to take it around the globe, right? That's what we got. And the other thing we taught that just blew me away, and I loved it. I just absolutely loved it. A few more things, and I'll be really quick about this. Is that, we talk network marketing, we talk about residual income, we talk about, all the great stuff. And we got a really great family here. And just as the other previous speaker said, people were pointing us out or coming over and talking to us because of our skin, because of how well we look. So thank you, David and Lonnie, for that. Yeah, like seriously, right? And they want to learn from us as well. Now, while this was all going on, and we're down there, and I'm putting a real quick shout out here to Nina. Nina and her husband, Adam Cutes, from Colorado, drove 8 hours in a snowstorm. Seriously, you'd hear that uphill and downhill, but it was 8 hours in a snowstorm to get to Utah. And while she was there, our team in the back end was Brenda Mulder and Jane Lillico. Were working their hearts out to help other people around the world, right? Around, to know what our products were. And because of that, Nina's away. She ranked 2 double ranks last night. Jane ranked 2 double ranks last night, and Brenda ranked to senior VP. So that's what this business is about, you guys. Like you could, you know, we've got something here that not only are we in the right place at the right time, and you hear that all the time, we've got the backup of it. You know, they talk about one of the other things, and then I'll stop, okay? There's so much I can share here, but we talk about business, and we talk about where we're going and the trajectory of where we're going. And, you know, you're coming along. One business is gone because they can't make it. They don't have the finances. They don't have the products. You know, they don't have the right people in there. Rick, you did a great job because you always talk about that, right? Why did you come over to RX? Like, why would you risk your, you know, your timing in life to do this, right? And we have everything in place now. Thank you, Lonnie and David, for this. We have everything in place to be that you know, that $1 billion company. And they're saying in 5 years, and I think, Rick, you said, no, it's probably going to be less than that because they've got everything in place in the infrastructure. All we have, right, 3 years, I love it, 3 years. All we have to do is go out and share our stories. And we kept hearing that. Talk and tell a story. Ian said that. Talk and tell a story. But the only way you can talk and tell a story is if you're using the products. So be that product of the product, right? That's what we need to do. And then, and truly, oh my gosh, Tim Sales. To have him as here, I want to tell a quick little synopsis on him because I didn't know this on him, and I think this is really, really important. If he is master distributor, he didn't come over with a whole group of people. He wasn't paid to come over. In fact, he didn't come over from anywhere. Here's quick. So 1989, he started network marketing after being one of those super kind of cool dudes that, you know, took apart bombs and all that in the Navy. And I mean, Peter probably will have a man crush on him, but you know, he came over into network marketing. He placed an ad, he answered an ad. And so 1989, he made 68 grand. Between the years of 1991 and 95, he made $150,000 a month. Not too shabby, right? He retired in 1996. Here's the kicker. He's been retired for 18 years. He put out brilliant compensation. Love that, right? He consulted for over 200 direct selling network marketing companies in the world. So he knows the back end of companies. He knows who's who in the world, right? He knows who these people are. And he came back into network marketing because of what this company is going to do for so many globally, and he wanted to be a part of it. And now, because of this, 7 years later, this company, I'm making notes here because it just blows me away. He has 57, count that, 57 millionaires in his 7 years of his company in his downline.
That's pretty good. And I'm gonna you set up Nina because you segued her in perfectly. So Karen, we're gonna have to have another call, and you just go through all your notes because you got a bunch of good notes.
Thank you, Lonnie, for letting me on here.
Nina, since you went through the snowstorm, tell us what you got out of it.
Well, thank you, Lonnie, for inviting me to be a part of this. I'm very honored. And when you called me and you asked me to say something about, you know, my experience there and the belief, I really had to sort of step back and think. And so I live in Colorado. I am originally from Canada, and all my upline and my tribe is sort of that Vernon group. So whenever there's an event to go and link up with these people, well, of course I want to be there. But it made me think about, I guess it was just over a year ago when we kind of had a little bit of the same scenario, and there was some new players that came on board, and I flew to Calgary because I wanted to experience it myself and meet these people. Well, then in March in Vegas, right, we actually have the marriage, and I think it really put people, caught people by surprise. And I think then our belief meter on what was happening was a little bit maybe jaded or tarnished, even though I know we all love and trust you and David and all the things that you've done for us. And we all know that you have our back. So when we show up in Vegas and there's, you know, a new player there, I think some people were a little bit surprised, especially with Fred and how he came across. And some people are holding back. And I don't know that I was actually holding, well, I guess I was holding back too. Want to try new products. What does this mean? I'm kind of a junior in this game, and I don't have as much experience and knowledge and, you know, track record. So I had to sort of relearn things, and it just took me some time. So my belief in the products, I'm always a product fan. I really didn't think the drops would work. Adam and I, we don't have great before pictures because we just thought, well, they're not going to work. So, you know, why bother? But it started to work. And so the belief in the products really caught fire for us, and people around us really saw the difference in our lives and what it's done for us. My daughter in Seattle, who I was with the weekend before Utah, she shared with me how she sees a change in me in my personal growth and transformation, as a lot of people alluded to this theme that we experienced this last weekend. So this weekend we go to Utah, and really we went to take our daughter her car because she's going to university there, and it was a perfect timing that we could go and attend. So I was able to bring Adam with me, and Holly was there on Saturday. And I really wanted them to experience even a snippet of what I have experienced. But what I really, really grew in my belief was in the leadership. And hearing those transformational stories that a lot of the speakers have alluded to was really critical for us. And especially Fred. He was very transparent. Learning what he went through was huge, because we all have bumps in the road, right? So there was something that I came across before that I had been dwelling on, and I just wanted to share it because it made me think of Fred. Because those of you who don't know his story, we'll hear it another time, I'm sure, but he chose the hard right over the easy wrong. And I think in our industry, you know, once we start hearing some of those stories, a lot of people take the easy wrong. And it just has strengthened my belief in our leadership that you have partnered with, and that you've, you know, brought us to another legacy company, that these people really are caring. They are full of integrity. They've had their struggles. They've had their sacrifices, and they do it for us. And they have our backs too. So thank you, Lonnie and David. And I just feel very blessed to be a part of this.
Well, thank you, Nina. And we've got a couple of more, and I want to be respectful of our time. But
Lonnie, are we recording?
I know you're going to ask me that question. I was so excited and intimidated because I set it up. The answer is no. I apologize. I just.
This is great stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, thanks for rubbing it in.
No. I'm just saying, if it was meant to be, it'd be recorded. It's not. Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah. And go longer, you guys. We want to hear it all. We don't care how long it takes.
Next, I've got Sloan on here. So Sloan, why don't you go ahead and pop in? David, you're right. I thought about it, and I'm sorry.
No, if honestly, you know me, if it was meant to be, it'd be recorded. So it's perfect. Every day is. Go ahead, Sloan.
Hi. Oh, awesome stories so far. And, you know, I think all of us that were there, we could literally go on for hours because it was really an incredible 2 to 3 days that we were there. And for me, just to give everybody their time on this call, I think I'm just going to focus on.
Ouch.
I've always known, you know, with David and Lonnie, you know, we've always heard their stories from the beginning, and, you know, what they, you know, we've always talked about their stories, and that's what we were all about. And I felt like with NuAriix, I didn't have that yet. I didn't know enough about where they came from, who they were, what their vision was, where they were going. And I feel like this last few days is what really sealed the deal for me, because I am about heart. And I think it truly comes from the heart in no matter what you do in life. So hearing Fred's story, to hearing from Jeff Yates, to hearing from Ian Chandler, to hearing from Deanna, to me, it just reminded me of when Lonnie used to say, we take your life in our hands. When you sign up with us as a company, we take this really seriously. And for me to move forward, I really needed to feel that heart. And I truly, truly felt that this weekend. And having you and Lonnie there, David and Lonnie there, was fantastic. It was so great to have you part of that meeting. I felt it was really, really important. And to have those distributors like Brenda Thompson coming up to us, asking us more about our products and them wanting to know more, it really helped us realize that, you know what, we're in this together. We're in this to help each other and to share what we know and what we have, the information and everything we've learned in the last 8 years, some of us that have been in it, about our amazing products, and for them to share with us, because we are together in this. We're building this, you know, $1 billion plus company together. And, you know, the things that some of, like Jeff Yates shared, what they're doing for us, our families, the legacy that, you know, Lonnie and David that was their vision. And then it just continues on. It makes me feel really, really secure. I have to say secure, you know, for my family, for myself, and for anyone that I bring into this business. I know that the commitment is there. They have our back, just like we've always known. And that's just really what sealed the deal for me this weekend. And they're, you know, going to Fred's house, that I just have to just add that in, you know, having him and his wife open up their home to us. You know, we're in their personal space and they're allowing us to be a part of their family. And that's what I've always felt with NuAriix. It's a family. And now I feel a part of a family, just like I've always felt. So that was my takeaway. Thanks for letting me share tonight.
You know, Sloan, one thing I noticed, I saw a picture of Debbie Snyder in Fred's Lamborghini. What I didn't see was the garage door open. So I thought that was pretty good. We've got one more, and Jennifer, if you're there, Jennifer Johnson, because I think this has been a great cross-section of people.
Hi, Lonnie. Thanks for having me.
Glad you're here.
Awesome. Well, amazing. I mean, incredible takeaways. And I could echo all of that. I felt everything that every one of you said that experienced Utah. And so for me, my belief meter, you know, I think a few of you said that I felt like I was a 10 on all levels. And so going there, if it was one of those hammer things that the top goes up and hits a bell, it would have gone through the roof, because truly everything that I've heard about RX and being at the conferences and the events, you know, it all made sense to me for sure. Seeing it and hearing it, but I didn't feel it. And so going to this and experiencing the people, both the reps in the room, hearing their stories, their struggles, their triumphs, their transformations, it was incredible, you know, to just completely be submerged into majority RX and talking to them was amazing. Also hearing the owners' transformations and stories, and Vivian's, just so much feeling and realness to what we have here in our hands. And so you could read about it all day long, but until you actually feel it, like NuAriix in your heart, RX can now be in our heart, and we can stop talking about what was and really get excited about what is and what's coming, and be that visionary that, you know, Fred Cooper is for our company. You know, also for me, it was huge because we hear about 7 owners and how diverse they are, and they all bring their own expertise in, but really hearing now all of them, for me, it's really struck a chord of what that means for each and every one of us in our lives, in our businesses, in our families. They've got it all covered. So it's with RX, you know, 360-degree for health and wellness, but it wraps around completely with everything hand in hand to have it all covered for us for now, as well as for future growth. It's all thought out, changing. So I loved that, and I loved being able to really get to know Rick and Allison more on a personal level as well. You know, they're really looking out for us, you guys. And so just to know that they're listening to the field, we have the resources, and, you know, they're brilliant. These two, I feel really confident in knowing that I can work hand in hand with them and our teams and all of you to make this as big as we want to. And Todd Rowlands and Tim Sales, hearing their stories as well. You know, Todd going from broke as a joke to making $250K a month, to losing everything and to finding RX. And really what he says is the secret to MLM is just committing. You know, just committing. I think we can all do that now that we have what we know and what we feel. To be able to move forward with that is awesome. And another huge takeaway, and I'm going to echo this because I think that it's something that we all just need to hear and feel, is, Lonnie, to see you get up, and, you know, David, you too. And I'm going to quote your words because it was really emotional. Our commitment is that you are number one, that you're first. And we promise that, we made a promise to all of our reps. Our commitment is they are first. We have a home here in what's going to be a legacy company. And so that is huge. And when we look at the numbers as well as what we know of you, Lonnie, that you're a man of your word, and David, you too, 225 million right now, forecasted to be $1 billion company in what, 3 years? Rick's saying, and you know, the infrastructure that's already set up, again, that visionary forward thinking to be a $10 billion company without even having to change anything in the systems and the IT and all of that. So it's just sharing, knowing what we've got. And I just, again, I could go on forever, but thank you so much for letting me share a bit tonight.
Well, thank you. And I'm going to let Rick close in a minute, but David and I are going to give you a little bit of, we went up for some separate meetings. And David, my takeaway from those meetings, both Mark and Fred, we met with Riley and Ian and Phil Lewis in manufacturing and operations. But one of the questions that both Mark and Fred asked, and they answered their own question, was, have we done enough for NuAriix? And the fact that they would ask the question went ahead and strengthened my belief that we made the right decisions. And because in their mind, they haven't. So they wanted us to lay out more of a plan. David, you could go ahead and jump into some of those conversations also.
Well, I, like everyone else, it was a powerful weekend, and we were all working in different areas, and even from Rick and Allison doing such a great job, all of you coming there together, meeting the RX people, getting to feel really the heart of RX. And I know every time we are there, it confirms that we are in the right place. And like Lonnie said, I'll tell you something that, well, for both of us, because we discussed it more, the magic of that weekend, it's so hard to tell somebody what a conference was like, because it's the feeling. It was the feeling of the weekend that somehow all of us need to tell everyone else. Now, unfortunately, it's only going to be a story to them, and we felt it. But both Lonnie and I, from our first meetings with Ian, with Riley, with Mark, of course, with Fred, there was more. We felt more a part of everything, and they asked us to get more involved in some things. And we knew what was interesting. We knew going up there that we needed to do that, but their thoughts were the same as ours. And so what everybody who was there has had the same takeaway. We are in the right place. It is the right time, and never have any of us had an opportunity that has been laid before us, and it is up to us to take positive action and to be a part of this great company that we are going to be riding a wave, but we're also part of creating that wave together. What everybody had to say tonight was absolutely awesome. Everybody was saying the same thing in a little different way, but I think everybody now understands what Lonnie and I did see and feel, because our first meeting was with Fred, and he came to us. So we're really, really on our way. And now what we must do is bring the rest of the family and tell them our story.
David, that's a great spot to, this was Rick's brainchild. And,
yes.
And I think his years of experience are an asset that you can't say it enough for all of us. And Rick, I hope that you and Allison plan to do another one of these pretty soon in Q1 or something, where the people that didn't get to go and might be able to come down, and might have to get a lot bigger room, may even have to get a stadium, who knows? So we'll let you close us up.
Lonnie, thank you. And it is very rewarding to hear that we were able to deliver on the intentions and that we wanted to create this event. And yes, we will be having probably 2 of these a year, one in the early spring, late winter, so people maybe can have a day of skiing when they're up here, and then again one in the fall. I will say, as a hint, the one in the fall may end up being more of a larger event combined with the Discover RX. So what we don't want to lose is, even if we have 1,000 or 2,000 people for an event in Utah, which is a hint again in the fall, we want to have that intimate setting where the owners can feel like owners unplugged. So first, what I want to say is, I want to say to those who are unable to be at the event, we did not advertise this. We didn't put it up on social media. If there's anyone out there that feels left out, please don't feel that way. Because if it didn't get word of mouth to you, don't feel that you were left out or that there was any kind of intention involved, because that's not how this was set up. Second of all, I just want to say that we are in a very unique position. I have a lot of years in this experience, and every instinct that I have is not just telling me, but yelling at me and screaming at me that we really have what those of you that were able to share tonight, what we have. We have all of the pieces of the puzzle in place. Now, does that mean that we're staying still? No, we're simplifying. Our goal for 2019 is to simplify and to unify, not just the NuAriix RX family, but also to simplify the message and unify the message. But we have, and we are sitting on a gold mine, and it is up to us to mine. And so what do we do going out of it? If we weren't there, we can feel bad about not being there, or we can use that as a catalyst. The energy and the enthusiasm and the belief, use that as a catalyst to jump forward, to leap forward. If we were there, let's make sure that we share that we use those transformation stories, and we share that every day, and not lose sight of that by letting another day go by without sharing that message with as many people as we can, because that's what will create the momentum. The third thing I wanted to just close with is just a huge amount of gratitude for David and Lonnie, and Richard, who I did not have the pleasure of meeting, but I feel like I've kind of know a piece of him through all of you, for the vision that you all created, and the culture that you created, that created the opportunity to bring these two cultures together in such a synergistic way. And a gratitude to all of you for putting your trust in us. And I wholeheartedly agree. I have always agreed in this industry what Lonnie and David have said, and that is that you put your trust in us, and we don't take that lightly. That you have put your lives and your reputations and your person and your families in our hands, and I believe that. I believe in the responsibility and how important that is to us. So thank you to each one of you that were there. Thank you to those that were unable to be there but are sharing in that enthusiasm and belief. And we have a rocket. We really do have a rocket. This company, every instinct I have is telling me that. So thank you to all of you for making it a success. Lonnie and David, for all the leaders that shared tonight. Look forward to seeing you the next time, but more importantly, look forward to seeing you on social media and on calls tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Hope everybody has a great week.
Thank you. Bye. Everybody.
Good one.
Everybody. Great to see everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So good.
Thank you.
Adios, amigos.
Thank you. So awesome.
Everybody have a great evening. A great week.
Thank you.
Adios.
Everybody. Thanks, Lonnie.